Welcome back. The race for the White House so far defined by Hillary Clinton's scandals, Donald Trump's surprising rise to the top of the polls. Candidates on both sides of the aisle generating plenty of buzz, even the undeclared Vice President Joe Biden, who's polling better than most of them. But my next guest says it is Ohio Governor John Kasich who will come out on top. Joining us right now to talk more about it is former Senator Al D'Amato. Senator, great to see you.
Nice to be with you.
Thank you so much for joining us. John Kasich is your guy.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I want a Republican in the White House. And if Republicans want and people want to change and they don't want a Hillary, why, you must carry Ohio. And Kasich is the only Republican that can basically, as much as you possibly can in politics, guarantee a victory there. He's beloved. He's done a great job as an administrator. He inherited a state with an $8 billion deficit. This is now his second term. They have a $2 billion surplus, 300,000 more people working. If you poll Ohio, you see that he gets almost half of the Democrats supporting him, 60% of the independents, and 80+% of the Republicans. So do you want to win? Now, when he was in Congress, and I served with John, he did a fabulous job as chairman of the Budget Committee.
He did a great job on the budget. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, they actually balanced the budget. So do you want to win?
But you know what?
Or do you want to have a purist? You know, some conservatives say he's not conservative enough. I say nonsense. Fiscally terrific. Defense. He knows.
But how's he going to resonate with the people and go above the din of, you know, Trump?
Nobody goes above the din of my friend Donald Trump. And if you try, you make a mistake. And Bush,
so how does this play out then?
Well, I'll tell you how. He has to show that he's got something, and I think in New Hampshire, you're going to see him come in the top three. Remember, he was the last one to enter. And as people learn more about him, and people want a winner, they're going to start looking at this seriously, and they're going to say, you know what? This guy's got it. He's a hawk on defense. He's going to rebuild our military. Nobody understands the budget.
But he's a career politician, which
no, he's not.
Which right now, well,
they don't want.
He was the director of the Budget Committee when 25 years ago.
Well, yeah, and he did a great job.
Or 20
and he stepped out of politics.
But he's also a business guy before that.
He's brought a lot of businesses to Ohio, too.
I mean, one of his biggest jobs is being a politician, which is what people are not siding with at the moment.
That's a fair point.
I agree with you that people don't want the typical Paul, and he's not the typical Paul. He doesn't march to the drum that I have to say this in order to get elected. He marches to the drum of what is best for the people. And you know, and I say this,
but he's got to get out and show it.
And he's got the goods.
That's the other thing, though, Senators. He does, but he's got to get out and let people know, too, because they don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How do you get above the din? But he's got the goods in terms of the actual policies and actual results.
He's got the
Look
results,
at the Ohio economy.
He accepted the Medicaid
expansion.
expansion, and he said, I did it for the people of the state. That's who I represent, and that was his explanation.
He transformed that economy in today's economy from an economy that was in the dark ages for many, many years.
And you know how people are going to find out? Because when they begin to realize that without Ohio, and they see what a job he did there, and that he can win, and they say, I want a winner, they will go with him. But you're right about people want the non-politician. They're tired of the typical Washington Paul. And that's why you see Trump. That's why, by the way, Bernie Sanders is a longtime Paul. But because he was a socialist and because he takes on Washington
he brings
as much,
something else to the table.
He brings something else to the table. So they do want a non-politician.
One thing I really liked about John Kasich on the debate, I thought he was such a gentleman when he was asked about Trump. You know, he basically just said, look, I understand why Trump is soaring, because people are so disenchanted and just upset with the establishment.
And look at the doctor, how well he is.
Dr. Ben Carson, sure.
Right, because, again, non-politician, and he's not the shrill attacker.
And he's taken a similar stance, Dr. Carson, about Trump as Kasich has. So that's also, I think, boosted him, too.
I think
that seems to be what people want.
Both of them are hoping that in the fullness of time, if Donald isn't the one, he's certainly going to have a lot to say.
What's the ticket? Kasich who?
Well, I think Kasich, and you have a certain woman who has
Kasich Carly.
Kasich Carly or Kasich Rubio, if you want to cut in.
Got two swing states.
Got
a lot of electoral votes there.
But that trio is really seen as the three of them maybe vying for the VP slot, maybe not your.
I have to make a guess and say
POTUS.
I doubt very much if Kasich would run for VP.
Really?
I really do.
He wants to be president.
I think he's shooting for president. He is the king of Ohio. I shouldn't say the king, but he's the governor.
That's LeBron James, by the way.
Pardon?
Yeah, thank you.
LeBron James is the king of Ohio, I think.
Well, that's true. LeBron is.
There's that,
maybe
too.
Cardale Jones from Ohio
Senator,
State.
great to have you on the show today.
Great to be with you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Senator Al D'Amato. Take a look at the